My name is Jacqueline Wheeler, and I played the piano for Brother Branham around 1963 to the end. I was about 14 to 15 years old, and I can't remember who asked me or even how that I started playing, but I want to just say I was honored, and I have no idea they would pick a little kid like me, just a teenager, to have done this. The only thing that I wanted to make sure that I didn't do anything to hurt the spirit that was there. When I was playing for Brother Branham and the prayer line started, I can't even explain how I felt. It was there's no words that I can explain what it felt like that close to Brother Branham praying for the sick and people were healed. I just know that I felt something that wasn't like anybody else that I'd ever been around. When I played for the marriage and divorce meetings, it was a stage, and I was very nervous. And when I get nervous, I get sick at my stomach. And, my knees were shaking. My whole body was shaking. I thought I was going to get sick, and I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to make this. And Brother Branham, he turned around and looked at me and kind of winked, like saying, "It'll be okay. Don't worry about it." And it turned out just like that. I was able to finish the service. And I wouldn't have been able to if Brother Branham hadn't done that. One of the things that stood out for me is I went out west with the Manns. Vernon Mann was, I think he was an assistant pastor at one time at the Tabernacle. I'm not sure. He could have been a Sunday school teacher. I'm not, but I came west with him and his wife and my sister Madeline. We came and we got to Tucson and we sang, or we stayed at the Westward Winds. And one day we got a knock on our door, and it was Brother Branham. And he asked if he could show us around. And we had no idea Brother Branham knew that we were there. We sure didn't tell him. And he took us to Mount Lemmon and Sabino. And when we were going up Mount Lemmon, he got about halfway. And he got out of the car, and he went over the hill, and he came back, and he said, "I'm sorry," he says, "I just had a little stomach problem." And I thought about it later, how Brother Branham was sick, but he took us anyway. We went up the hill, and he asked to have a picture taken with Madeline, my sister, and me standing on Inspiration Rock. And I've got that picture. He was the best tour guide you could ever have, because he would talk about the scenes that we saw for the first time. And he got to talking about the future home of the earthly bride, and he was preparing his sermon for speaking at the Tabernacle, the future home of the earthly bride. And he talked about things like the size of the 1,500 square, I think it was. And now I realize how humble the man was. Here we're 14, 15 years old, and Brother Branham is asking kids that, he says, "I didn't finish school." Maybe, he says, "I'm sure you girls would know how," and he'd explain the size of this pyramid that he was talking about. So humble. Never forget it.